Hey there, it's Karl Welshman and welcome to my kitchen. Hello there, it's me, your best pal, Karl Welshman. Today, we're going to have a go at making ketchup. Now, if you haven't seen before, I've done a video previously where I'm dabbling a little bit in sauces, with the goal being to crack 3 main sauces: a ketchup, a barbecue sauce, and then a kind of a smoked spicy sauce. Not too spicy. Today, we're going to be working on a ketchup. I'm going to be honest, and I'm always honest, guys. I bought pretty cheap tomatoes from Tesco. Now, when I went there the other day, I wanted to buy tomatoes that were on the vine. There was supposed to be a type of tomato which was kind of a midway between these cheapy salad tomatoes and like high-end fucking sweet tomatoes on the vine, but they didn't have them, and I was like, couldn't really justify spending nearly fucking £10 on tomatoes to make a couple of bottles of tomato sauce. Now, I know further down the line, if I was to make these sauces and sell them, yeah, you'd get that money back. But today what we're doing, we're just sort of experimenting a bit more with the cooking process, just so that I can get the texture right. Obviously, I'm not a fucking doofus. I do know that if I use these tomatoes, it's going to be a very different result to when I use proper nice tomatoes. But I like to get like just a base reading, just a fucking base reading, just to get used to the preparation and all those sorts of things before I nail the proper sauces. Similar to what I did when I was making my previous sauce, I'm kind of basing it on some different recipes that I found online, and I've adjusted them a little bit, moved things around, tried to get the measurements right, because it seems that a lot of these sauces, most people that are willing to share any sort of recipes, they're all based in America, and they're using like cup measurements and things like that. So I had to go through and convert all of those things. The other thing that I've noticed is that some of the sauces that people are making, again, when they're sharing the recipes, they're only willing to share recipes which are for fucking huge supermarket amounts of batches of bottles of sauces. I won't be able to say that ever again. I had to spend a bit of time adapting that, bringing it down and adjusting. Now, the recipe I've got, I'm looking at it and I'm looking at the measurements of sort of spices and other things that they want to put in there. And I'm like, it seems quite low. But my other understanding is really, if you want it to be a tomato ketchup, the star of the show has to be tomatoes. So I'm gonna follow this along. We'll work through it. This isn't a recipe video or a how to make a sauce video or anything. This is me just merely documenting and sharing the experience that I get from trying to nail my 3 core sauces. Now, I don't know how much sauce we'll get from these tomatoes. I mean, it looks like it looks like a lot initially, but obviously, you know, once this cooks down, evaporates a lot of the tomato juice, we get rid of all of the seeds and the skin, that's going to be reduced right down. Now, the reason why I need to nail this ketchup is that the base of a lot of barbecue sauces that I've seen online, in most cases, use ketchup. And I don't want to cheat. I don't want to just buy a bottle of ketchup from the supermarket, squirt that in, and add a few fucking extra spices and bits and pieces to make a barbecue sauce. I want to nail my own ketchup first, and then we'll use that to make a barbecue sauce. So we're going to be using sugars and vinegar as a preservative for the sauces. Nothing fucking random in there. The only random shit you're going to get in there is some herbs and spices. That's a Karl Welshman promise. Well, my name doesn't begin with K. Right, that's my tomatoes chopped. we went off script a little bit here, because one of the recipes I was looking at, right, it had chop your tomatoes, put a bit of salt on them while they're in the colander, right, and then blend them. Now, few different things going on here why I'm a bit like bit dubious about that recipe is if I put salt on the tomatoes. First of all, we've got additional salt which is not measurable within the recipe, because you just, you know, sprinkling salt over the tomatoes. The other thing is, if you've got them in a colander and you've got the salt on them, it's obviously going to draw your liquid out, and that's going to go down the fucking drain. I'm assuming here if we're making a sauce, obviously we want to try and get the liquid out while we're cooking, but that liquid needs to be cooked down to get the fucking tomato flavour in. So I made a few adjustments here. So I'm going to actually cook the tomatoes through with the onions, get them soft, then blend them, then cook them out, put them through a sieve, and then we'll put our spices and everything in there. Let's crack on. Your onions in the pan cooking. That's gone nice and soft now, so we can get our tomatoes in, soften them a little bit, and give them a blend. That's the tomatoes cooked and blended. Gonna put this to a sieve now, get rid of those tomato seeds and any random chunks. Get it in the fucking pot here. Add our herbs and spices. Reduce it, and we should be ready for sauce. That's all the bloody seeds and the skin all fucking sieved out. Big old pot now of very runny tomato juice. Gonna add the vinegar and spices and bits and pieces to this, and then we just gotta let this bad boy cook all the way down. Don't know how long it's gonna be cooking away for, but I've got a funny feeling this is just gonna reduce down to like one intense bottle of tomato sauce. So let's see, shall we? Well, it's cooking down a little. Don't know whether it's thick enough yet though. Don't know whether it's thick enough. Guess we'll see when I spoon it onto a plate. So this has been cooking away for about an hour and a half. We've got quite a reduction. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to splodge some on a plate and let it cool, and we'll see if there's any sort of water residue around the splodge. If we've not got much water residue, then we know we're ready for southing. I'm going to get these bottles boiled and sterilised. Let's get my tongs and funnel in there as well, so that that's all sterilised and boiled out, and then we'll bottle up. Right, let's do a little plate sauce consistency check. Quite thick. It's hot. I have a little taste test as well. Well, it's tomatoey, but I think we have got a lot of reduction to do yet. A lot of fucking reduction. Look at that. It's a nice flavour, but I think I need to just forget about it for another hour. Yeah, we're gonna have to let it just cook away for a while. Flavour wise, I can see how if I was to use a more expensive or a higher quality tomato, it would be even better, but that's good. That is good. Well, it's been another half hour. I did a little test on it, and it was still had a bit of water in it. I'll turn this down because it's going all over the fucking floor and stuff. Jesus, calm down, sauce, you cunt. So, yeah. Let it go. Oh my god, look at that. How the fuck did it get up there? I'm thinking of putting it through the sieve again as well. It's silky smooth, but I think it could be smoother. Ah, that literally went on my fucking forehead. I don't think it's showing on you. That splattered on my forehead. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the sauce through the sieve a bit, And then I think that's as cooked down as we can get it. So let's have a look. Morning everyone, it's the next day since we started our sauce experiment. I got my fucking dad jumper on. We've even got the fucking heating on. The thermostat's just bloody kicked off. So welcome to September. Welcome to winter. Look, dark outside. It's dark. Huh? There's me. Karl, what are you doing out there? The hell am I doing out there? So a few things going on with this experiment. We wanted to look at kind of cooking times, process, and how much fucking sauce we get from, what, 1.5 kilo of tomatoes. That's what we got, guys. We got quite a full bottle, a very full bottle, and this little bastard here. So going through all of this, it's made me realise why some sauces, particularly handmade artisan sauces, are so fucking expensive. Because yesterday, using standard kitchen equipment, it took hours to get the bloody sauce reduced down. First of all then, colour wise, more orange than red, and I think that's a lot to do with how orangey the tomatoes were. They weren't like a deep vibrant red, so I'd imagine the colour would be completely different if I used good quality tomatoes. And let's pop this open. Ooh. Oh, do you know, so yesterday when it was cooking, the vinegar smell was quite strong, but I guess that's because it was hot, so giving off kind of like a vapor, but whereas this actually smells exactly like ketchup. Let's pour some out. Look at that. Okay. Saucy. Got a little ring of moisture, but overall it's very, very saucy. See, I didn't want it to be like a puree, and that's what it was looking like on the first blend, or the first time I went through the sieve. It was more of a puree than saucy, but yeah, little bits of pepper in there coming through. Okay, let's go for the important taste test. You over there. There you go. Okay, you just relax there. Let's have a little taste. That's great. That's really nice. Very sweet. Really nice texture. It's a nice feeling. So to have gone through all that work and made something which genuinely, despite using the cheap tomatoes, has come out actually tasting really good. Maybe I do like a blend of sort of salad tomatoes and good tomatoes in there, just to give it a bit more of a vibrancy and colour and a bit more of a tomato hit. But despite using those cheapy tomatoes, I know I'm trying to spread it about a bit in my mouth. That's spot on. That's a good ketchup. It's got a good little heat at the back of it as well. I put it's got a bit of mustard powder and some black pepper in there, so that's a success, guys. That is a success. So if I apply the same sort of cooking processes to the previous sauce that I made, the smoky pepper one, texturally we're spot on. Nice. Well, Thanks for watching my big long rambly video if you've made it this far. Let's just say Karl Welshman's ketchup is looking good. It's a hit. Yeah, I'm happy with that, guys. I'm happy with that. Take care now. Back to my shitty fucking Monday morning in September. Still dark. Not even 7 a.m. Let's do this. Ich muss nicht haben. Ich weiß.